Yo, yo, what is up? Welcome back. We got the moderator in the house. We got me in the house. I'm just here chilling, man. You know, we run on demon time. So it's when we're working. All right, here we are. Let's see what's on the headlines today and if anything affects us. Now, we all know that when it comes to headlines and everything else that we follow or that comes across our attention. And so amidst all the everything everybody released, secret, whatever, all these JFK stuff. Here's the thing, man. People are so tunnel vision on the who did this, who did that, that they forget that most of the time, like for example, if you're in the military, you are doing what Congress and everybody tells you to do. You think you're doing it on your own. Oh, we're doing the right thing. What's up, Shyla? Welcome, welcome. Thanks for the love. It's good to see everybody. It is 1:01:59 Central Standard Time here in Texas. And we're just going through some stuff, man. Uh let's uh let's aggregate what's the top things. Welcome everyone. Chat, let me know where you're chatting from, man. All right, there, here are we go. Thank you so much, guys. All right, top story. Devastating earthquake rocks Southeast Asia. Myanmar, aka Burma for the older guys, hit by a powerful earthquake. Centered in Mandalay, state of emergency declared, 694 dead, 1670 injured, shallow depth worsened, destruction of. Anyway, there was an earthquake in Indonesia. Well, Harry Balzac is one of those nights where you listen to Brian McKnight. Bro, you have the same name as a brother of mine. I've spent a good amount of time with. He lives over in Rochester, New York. If you're who I think you are, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If not, hey, lucky. Anyway, that was the apparently the top story of the last week was the earthquake, which apparently happened just a couple of days ago. Of course, the tariff stuff that everybody's crying about. Uh, this is bananas, man. Like going like watching this. Of course, the whole Israel and Hamas stuff still going on. South Korea, apparently, wildfire destroyed a 1,300-year-old Buddhist temple on March 26th, which is, I don't know, man. Is it is it a wildfire or are people trying to like get rid of things that were from the past? Holy shit, guys. And then of course Trump just threatens lawyers' security clearances. Now that might not mean anything to the rest of us because we live our lives on our own. But to people that are in the system, that's a big thing. And somebody, that's why that whole Hillary Clinton thing, like most military guys, just like we don't even talk about it. Why? We talk about Benghazi, but the whole email, keeping emails and all that stuff, we don't talk about that because the frustration with guys in the military is you send an email out, you keep anything on your personal computer, fucking over for you, bro. You don't have security clearance. You don't even have a job. You're peeling potatoes till the time you leave, and they'll make sure of it. And that's when I kind of, at first, I was like, man, this is such um, strict guidelines to follow in the military. They, oh, those are military standards. Then I realized those are the same guidelines for a corporation. That's why there's things like industrial, corporate espionage and all that. The same things that are in the military, they have in every corporation. They have operations, CEOs or commanders, COO, chief operating officers, first sergeants, sergeant majors, CFOs, executive officers. They sign for all the books and all the equipment and personnel. You sign for personnel. GI, government issue. All right, so let's do this, right? Here are the Fox News highlights. Just the highlights. Top one, tariffs on the car imports from Mexico and Canada. Second one, Myanmar earthquake, 7.7 magnitude earthquake near Mandalay. Health policy shift for the RFK thing. States ban on SNAP for soda purchases. And crime and immigration. Deadly weekend in Atlanta. U of M students ICE detention. Yada 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 yada. Right? CNN earthquake, tariffs, Israel Hamas war, and then political moves. Update on Trump's federal layoffs and all that stuff. Side by side, here are the takeaways. Both cover Myanmar, tariffs, Fox leans into domestic policy and wins RFK SNAP plan, while CNN digs into international crises, Gaza, Myanmar. Tone and angle, Fox aligns with Trump administration narratives, emphasizing enforcement, economic protection. CNN offers border context, often questioning Trump's moves and highlighting global fallout. Unique stories, Fox highlights U.S. incidents, Atlanta crime, ICE detention, while CNN tracks longer term conflicts like the things that keep you focused outside of everything except here in America. The way I look at it, man, is I said it almost every stream. Circle of influence, circle of concern, and then circle of influence. Circle of concern It's things like this we're talking about. The news, social media, circle of concern, and shit you could do about it, whatever they're telling you. If they're telling you something just makes you feel hopeless and they don't give you a solution, why are you even listening? That's like knowing you're broke. You see your bank account, and then somebody tells you every day that you're broke. What's the use? What about if somebody goes, "Hey, I understand you got nothing. We need to feel that. However, I understand we got nothing to put in. What do we have? Time and energy. So we can do something to fill said account." Now, that's called the circle of influence. There's only two circles you got to worry about, and only one of those circles you can do something about. And action cures all fears. I didn't say that. Somebody much smarter than me did. When you take action towards something, you can't be anxious. You can't be depressed when you're taking fucking action. You know, depression and anxiety and sadness, that comes to you when you are not working towards a worthy ideal. That's where the like I don't if you're fighting for your life, you got no room to be depressed. If you don't have food and your family doesn't have food and they got to eat and they need shelter, they need protection, there is no depression. I've been to war and I've yet to see anybody that I was with over there or fighting over there or doing something on a regular basis, whether they're from that country or from our side of the world. Nobody was depressed or anxious. You know why? Because they had a clear-cut set of things to do. Don't fucking die today. Just from my observation, depression and anxiety are signs that your physiological needs are met at the current moment, which means now you have the time to realize that you got to still meet them. That's the anxiety. Am I going to meet this? But if you've taken action and you've created a system and you've worked long enough because you're not 12, you've lived long enough this far and have survived this far, just look back. Look at what are the things that got you here. And did they benefit everybody involved? Or did they fulfill your needs? Did they pay your rent and then cause legal problems? That's all I'm talking about. For a long time, I looked at the mirror every day and said, I'm not a drug dealer. I'm not a fucking drug dealer. Because after a certain point in time of being in the industry of entertainment and writing and just living my life the way I do, it got to the point where I wasn't searching for cannabis to smoke. I wasn't searching for, it was showing up. And the old poor mentality of mine was like, dude, this is so much product. I can sell this and make a lot of money. And then I realized, but why did I need that money? Well, I need that money because I have to pay for my overhead, monthly living expenses, annual living expenses. And then I realized, right, as I was thinking about that, that all my living expenses were paid. And it wasn't because I have a lot of money, it's because I've learned how to live way below my means. I live and survive on approximately one-sixth of what comes in. It was like, oh, you got a lot. No, I don't have shit, bro. But tuna and ramen noodles don't cost that much. Water and coffee don't cost that much. You know what I mean? And that's what I need to write. and I don't drink alcohol anymore. I'm just not a drinker. So just the math on the amount of alcohol that I haven't drank in the last 6 years, just the math on that will make anybody live comfortably, man. I used to drink, it's ridiculous. I used to wake up and drink, get something on the way to work, get done working out, get done PT in the morning, drink, have a shot on the way home, shot on the way home, take a shower, so I don't smell like whatever, take a shower while I'm doing that, shower so I at least smell like I showered and not just, and the whole like clear alcohol vodka doesn't smell. Bro, you sweat that shit out so bad. The thing is, all of us were drunk, so nobody fucking like. I mean, we all knew. We all knew we were all drunk. Like fuck, we were all out together anyway. Half fucking 80% of the time, and that was just the life. And so when I stopped drinking, it wasn't just when I just it wasn't just oh yeah, I don't drink anymore. And what's up? It was realizing the byproduct of that. A fifth a day for damn near 15 years, man. And that's just when I started kind of, oh, I have this pattern going on. That doesn't count the going out. That doesn't count the being with the homies. That's me. That's personal consumption. It's just when it comes to habits, I view my habits as programs running on this computer that I call a meat vehicle, right? And you you don't change the habit, you replace the program, right? Because there's this blank there. You always did something once you got on the machine, so you got to replace that habit with something. You know, I replaced it with something. That something was coffee, a lot cheaper, not cheaper, but well provided for, last longer, and we're living. Like I said, even at the last stream, bro, I told you I was having a fucking shit day, man. And it wasn't a shit day. It was a day that showed me what I have to work on. I lost my temper, and that's something that I have to work on. I got to understand that they, when people are running on those programs, they don't know they're running on those programs. What I did to stop drinking is I didn't replace that program. I changed the entire operating system. You know, in a way, I went, oh, I'm a soldier. This is what soldiers do. They fucking work hard, they play hard, they drink, they smoke, they're rough around the edges, they do this, but they're still professional when they go to work. They're still professional. So that day, I just realized that I was never going back to that, ever. And I'm still carrying this habit. And I was about to go see my mother. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm two Tanquerays in. What are we doing? So I just got in my truck at the time and started writing down when was the last time alcohol was a net positive in my life. And after a significant amount of time of sitting there, I realized zero, not one time. So I went there and spent, that was like the last day I had hanging out with my mom and some family members. And then I dropped her off at my uncle's house. And this comedy journey went fucking bananas with the writing, the shows, the mics, the community that I found is amazing. In the midst of all that, I realized I liked doing that and didn't like. I was never gonna go get a regular job to do it, so I had to figure out how am I going to support this? How am I going to play this game until the day that they throw dirt on me without having to go sacrifice hours for dollars? 6 years later, April coming up, we're about to pay some taxes, and here we are. It's been pretty cool. All right, chat. Where's everybody streaming from, or where are y'all watching or listening from? And what time is it over there? I like knowing that. Some of y'all, what time is it where you are, Blood? Oh shit, it's 12 a. Okay, so it's the same time. Same time, same time. We got so many projects that are coming up, man. I gotta, and I'm gonna start. Eventually, I'll start streaming. Once we hit the studio, we're gonna start streaming the workouts, full blown, just hanging out, working out, body weight, couple of kettlebells for a while, and then we'll start doing that on the regular. So that'll be a lot easier because I'm trying to. I got to figure out like adjust all these activities that I have so they're in a better schedule for streams and all that. Because I get carried away a lot of times when I'm working on a project and I'm just working on the project and working on the project. And I realize that none of it is being documented. I've been turning on the camera a lot and getting a lot of uh, good footage together so I can that. But again, it takes a long time. Like each of these, once I'm done streaming, it literally takes anywhere from, depending on how long, anywhere from 10 minutes to like a day to upload the 4K 60s. I just gotta figure out a faster internet connection. A lot of it is probably because on me, because I'm doing it a lot of it on mobile, digital nomad life type thing. We're all over the place, so I'm using a lot of bonded internet connections with this private network that I bring around everywhere with me. Yo, Gran Torino, Spain in the house. Welcome back, brother. Early morning over there. It is technically early morning over here too. Yo, oh, you lived in the U.S. till 2010. That's what's up. My buddy lived here till like I started comedy. I did his show, and then he left. It was like 2021 or 2022, and he moved to Greece. Still lives there right now. Where in the U.S. did you live, Gran Torino? I'm probably sure you told me. I just didn't. I didn't. I don't remember. So that's 5 days. You're doing that draw. One take us one, and then that draw, and then the 5 days. It goes like that and burns everyone right there. Boston. Woo. Yeah, I got family. I think my cousin Cass still lives over there in Mass. Forget where, but hey, wait a minute. Hmm. Dude, I respect that. I respect that. I definitely respect that. You need to save your daughter from school. Yeah, shit's something else, homie. And I do my best to kind of like not so much talk about the education system. I have my own views on that. And like I said, I do my best not to bring it up just because of the common sense view that I have is based on how I grew up. Like, don't teach people what to learn, teach them how to learn, and then say, hey, in these conditions, this is what you have to do. The purpose of education is fucking survival, man, and it has nothing to do with making money. And if your survival, you equate that to making money, it's going to be hard because you're going to think money's the only thing that can bring that in, that can help you survive. Like, hell, I mean, if you think about it properly, like you don't need money, you need food, you don't need money, you need water, you need money, you need a place to stay. What I'm saying is I'm fucking my landlord. I'm just kidding. But the point is, what's up, CR7? Where you chatting from, brother? The point is, um, currency in itself is just so you can integrate with a system. So if you nowadays with the way the world is, the internet, all this what you want to do is just do what everybody from the beginning of time has tried to do, which is survive, do their best on their own with minimal interaction with in the system with the system. They can't solve your problems. They're not you. Just think about it from before I butcher it, Dunbar. Let me make sure. Let me get the actual quote right. Dunbar's number, which I think is like 150. It's like Dunbar's number refers to a theoretical limit on the number of stable social relationships a person can maintain, according to Robin Dunbar. And it's usually around 150 people, based on the idea that the human cognitive capacity, particularly the neocortex size, and there, I say all that, I read all that just to say, let's put it, let's say 150. Let's agree with him. Like 150 people. You can only give a fuck about 150 people total, which is about the size of a village, a small village. So, top five, your intimate circle, close family, best friends, people you're screwing. Core support group, good friends, like in an extended family, and of course, 150 wider network of meaningful connections. Anything past 150 up to about 500, you're just acquaintances, and then it becomes where you're just tying it to certain memory things. That's why when you say like, you wanna be just a simple trick on how to be a decent person. You go to a restaurant and the waiter or waitress shows up. Greet them with the greeting of the day. Good evening, ma'am. What's your name again? And then when they say their name, use their name in a sentence. And Gran Torino says, get older and you stop seeing the sense in those connections. Three's enough. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, believe it or not, the smaller the better. And that's usually what it is about. That's why intimate circle is like a round number like five. Get about five people total. Because those are the people like you expect, like you the infinite game that you're playing is the same. Like they're gonna bury us and we're still gonna be playing this game type. I'm still doing the same activities. And when I do change, we understand how that's the five people. And you're right, about three, me personally, bro, like five total. I mean, it gets, I say 10. Core support group, about 10. And the rest of them are just wider network of meaningful connections. But about 10 people told them, like, I can pick up my phone right now and call, and they'll answer. That's more than I can say for family members and blood relatives. I think my younger, I think my sister's about the only one that can call right now, and they'll pick up the phone. If she doesn't pick it up, she'll freaking call right back. And when she calls, she's gonna be calling with a ticket ready, going like, "Hey, where do you need to go? What's going on?" You know, because everything else, any updates, whatever, like she's a busy person. I'll shoot her a text. Hey, this is the update on what's going on. You know, but when it comes down, like you're right, man. Like the less people that you that you have around you, the less connections, usually the stronger those connections. And that's with anything. If you look at a network, a computer network, or electricity, or just your internet, get on your internet at like 9 a.m. and realize it's significantly slower. Why? Because the more people on there, the more people that are taking energy out of it. Just imagine yourself as a network. You are a hub, you're a router for a network. And you're routing, oh, so and so said this, that has to go here, that has to, oh, I gotta deal with that later, you know? In the midst of all that, you gotta go like, oh man, my kid just said something. That's a core memory I need to nurture. And that's why it makes it more easier to navigate when you write things down, because anything outside of those five intimate circle of yours, anything outside of that, man, everything is shit. Local reality, according to the latest Nobel Peace Prize, doesn't exist until observed. So, in other words, yo, Tom Snodgrass is back in the house. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. It's always good to see people coming back. That means I might have said something interesting enough. You know what I mean? I just finished talking about when I stopped drinking, and I just said I just stopped. I was explaining the whole to change a habit, you got to replace that habit because you're a computer running programs. Now that program fulfilled something that you were doing, so you got to replace that. And then that's where people like, yeah, if I don't replace it, that's where you fall off the wagon and all that stuff. What I did personally is I changed my operating system, right? Imagine drinking is a program that only runs on Windows. I put Linux on my computer and then erase that part. So like, oh, it's not even compatible. It doesn't, it, even if you type all that stuff and put all the alcohol in it, it doesn't run. It's not going to work. That's how I stopped that. And then just immediately I went, oh wow, so that's how you stop the dopamine reward cycles that are not conducive to my life. So all I did was go, okay, I'm not a drinker. No, like I said, that's the weird part. Bro, I drank my entire military career and the last 15 or so years of it, almost every fucking day. And when I stopped, I just stopped. And then I just had things to do because when I stopped, I realized I can now comfortably drive all the time. I don't have to like, fuck, I drank too much. So immediately, it was like almost immediately, I started doing stuff, right? I started going on open mic. I started hitting the skate park. Started hit up the homies and like, let's go do this. I started going to the lake. I started going out and experiencing the world, playing guitar a lot more after I broke my leg, and just doing these things that, looking back, I realized alcohol would have been involved in all of those, including the fucking driving, which is fuck. Just me thinking about it right now blows my mind. Oh, of course. Right. I mean, put it this way, man. You're putting bad gas in a vehicle for so long, and right now you put some clean stuff in it. So all that extra bullshit, the gunk that was in there's coming out. The mind's clearing up, the computer's getting used to the fact that this thing works properly, you know. You gotta start filling in those things. The thing um fastest way for me that I yeah, that's what I was just telling them. Mine was Jack, and it was literally a fifth a day for over 15 years. And that was just me. That doesn't include like let's go out, let's go. That's it's me waking up, drinking, going drinking, whatever. And then I switched to Tanqueray for the longest time, and that's when I just fine eventually quit. But what I get you 6 grams of mushroom, go into a room, turn everything off, make sure you're off for like a day or so. Take them and lay down. I'll promise you, you know, that's definitely, of course, once I once I took DMT, that definitely just went, oh yeah, like I'm just not a drinker. Because it just showed me, it just made me realize that this is going to be what I make of it. And I couldn't make anything of it if I could not even see straight. Like you can't, you need a vision. But if all your visions are visions of the past, ain't nothing new coming. And I know the past and the shit we're all comfortable with. It's the whole the devil you know. The thing is, until the pain of staying the same is so it gets so overwhelmed, it gets so bad, it's so uncomfortable. It's just that you just taking the step to be different, it's less pain, less struggle. When this pain gets too much, you're gonna fucking move. You can stay to a certain point, man. My grandma told me, Allah kalsuam ngaringi, moral, hindi ako madalang. It's like, if you don't like where you are, move. You're not planning. Or in a better way. Like, the reason I like the way she said it that way is because the words mean the same thing. It says you're not a plant, but at the same time, she says you're not planted in the ground. So if you don't like where you are, move. You're not a fucking tree. And it was okay. And until the pain of moving was less than the pain of being here, it was easier to move. And that's where the environment is important. The the environment is important, man. Like like it's overstated all the time. There's nothing more powerful than a made up mind. Like the human mind and the human will is so powerful. Created entire things. Go to the moon, go to Mars, flying out into space, like on just human will. Like I know it's impossible. I need 8 cylinders in this car. Engineers are looking at Ford going, we are engineers. We went to school. We got this technology, and none of the technology says you can. And he goes like, I know, but keep trying anyway. Fast forward, V8. But prior to him saying that, it didn't exist. And that's the point of having that focus. Like you cannot, if he just sat there and went like, dang, we'll put the motor in. I want 8 of them. Oh, check it. We'll just augment the horse. So we'll just have the horse and have the motor as a backup in case, you know, something gets tired. We'll just the horse dies and we'll just turn on the motor. No, he said, no, I want 8 cylinders. So that way we don't need a horse. horse. It's, and just imagine the horse, like like the horse dealerships. The day before the first car came out of Ford, I was shitting on him. I bet you. This fucking idiot. Horses are never going away. We've been using horses, and then next thing you know, ain't no horses running around unless you're a cop or you live in Texas. We got some cool people out here that ride horses around on the road, especially if in like the Bell County area, like Belton. It is, man. It's just it's crazy how much things you can how you can kind of live better and not go through a bunch of bullshit that you used to go through. And now looking back, I realized that every last one of the bullshit things that I went through were all by choice. I chose them. I might not have thought I did, but I can actually trace it back to the choice where I had an option. Oh, go here, go here. And I went this way, and things happened. And I will not go back and change any of that, even if I could, because the life I have right now is way too good. It is way too good. I'm sitting here in the ISIS cave talking to you guys, and all my bills are paid for the year. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's just, it only took 3 years to get there. And it's not because, oh man, you made so much money. No, it's because I know how to manage my life. You know, you go to any job, they manage you to the T, the second, to the second, bro. Clock in at this second, clock out at this second. Don't go over this. That's overtime. Can I get overtime? No. Like the people are telling you how to live your life when you apply for a job, and you won't tell yourself everything that you see here in this in front of your car, what you're wearing, everything that you see was in somebody's head one day. It started as a thought, they wrote it down, and it got detailed, became a blueprint. We're sitting in a house studio, writing programs, talking on the phone that's going across into space 44,000 miles. How do I know? Because it's 22,000 miles one way to the closest Echo 5-1 satellite that we use to transmit all this stuff across the world. 22,000 miles, so 44 round trip just to get there to you guys to read in Spain, and then another 44 back here. All that started because somebody in their mind went like, yeah, if I write this down and then make it detailed, we can build this. The largest machine in human history, believe it or not, is the Bell telephone network. It goes across the whole world. It's one fucking machine. The entire telephone network is one fucking machine, and it's still active. It's still up. The cables, the Houthis threatened to cut a fiber optic cable. The rest of it is still up. And no, you don't need to pay to get on it. You just need some ingenuity and resourcefulness. RTL SDR is 35 bucks. You can have one of those. You can get a regular cell phone, turn it on, get on a hotspot, do anything across the internet. If you just realize that the indexed internet is like this much, the tip of the iceberg. And I say the indexed internet because Google, all this stuff, that's the tip of the iceberg. The deep web, believe it or not, is just anything that you sign on that has a username and password. And the darknet is just the background. I look at it this way. The indexed internet is like the library. If you want to find out something that people want you to know and there's information, you go to the library. It's nice and cataloged all over the place. You want to experience something in real life, you go visit yourself. You go see. If I want to visit Spain, I come to Spain. I go see Mallorca. I go if I want to see, if I want to just learn about it, I go to the library. The library is the indexed internet. The world, the dark web is like the world. Think about it. The library only gives you what is authorized to be given out by the system that pays the library's bill. Versus, if I want to find out what's really going on in Mallorca, Spain, or in Spain, or anywhere else in the world, I'll talk to you guys, and you'll tell me, yeah, this is really going on, not that bullshit they show in the news. Because people from where I'm from contact me from the South Pacific and go like, "Oh, this thing in the news," and I'm like, "What are you talking about? It's not like that at all." You know, that's the craziest thing about it. I myself and my colleagues from my previous profession just so happen to see that firsthand when we're back here in the United States watching the news and they're saying breaking news, this just happened, and you're like, that looks real familiar. That didn't just happen because we're here. Those are our trucks that we're looking at. Yeah, it is the same everywhere when it comes to that, bro. Everybody's saying is it's rough in this country and that country, and then half the guys that are on here talking to me are like, "Yes, that thing's happening, but that's not all that's happening here." Everybody talk about Syria. I got people from Syria that come on here, people from Iran that come on here. Speaking of which, crazy that the soccer, world soccer, Iran made the playoffs. I heard the World Cup is going to be Canada, Mexico, and the U.S. Iran's not allowed in America. What are they going to do? They're going to fuck around and get to the playoffs. The playoffs are in the United States. Well, the U.S. better figure something out because I know for a fact it'd just be fucked up for them to go like, no, and be another thing to go like, the only reason Iran didn't win or whatever, or the World Cup is whatever, and it's another bread and circus thing for everybody to worry about instead of realizing that none of that shit pays your own bills, your personal bills. Every time something happens on the internet, the news, or somebody pisses me off, which is almost never, um, every time that happens, it affects me. It like emotionally, like, oh man, fuck, that's pissing me off. I literally open my bank account, my investment, and look to see if they changed based on that. And if they didn't, I ain't got shit to worry about. I get over it. Because as long as it doesn't mess with who I gotta support, it ain't a fucking issue. It's a non-issue. A good 80 majority of the problems that most people have nowadays wouldn't be problems if you just decide that they weren't. It's like trying to find like having the greatest, most efficient solution for something yet you didn't have to solve. My buddy was talking about like every time I met him, every time we meet up, he's always bitching about his girl. Every fucking time. Another one kept bitching about his workout was fat, everything, man. Well, I get this. I'm like, look, man, you can either you're gonna bitch about something, go to your fucking room and bitch about it. You come out here and you tell me something, you want a solution. If you don't want a solution, don't fucking talk to me. I'm not here to have you. You're not one of my 5 core people. You know what I mean? So it was just weird to see people who bitch about shit that they can do something about. Because you can just do something about it and then not bitch about it. And then bitching about shit outside of yourself, outside of your sphere of influence, when your bills aren't paid and you're overweight and you don't know when you're gonna fucking pay, how you're gonna pay your bills, and you cannot even, you don't have like your basic needs, your basic physiological needs are like a struggle to maintain every month, and you're worried about who's president, bro. That is the best. A good woman is the only option, or go alone. The number one reason, the number one decision, and this is from every, and especially like coming from like Berkshire Hathaway with Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, rest in peace. It was like the biggest decision they ever had to make is who you spend your life with, the woman in your life as a man, because that will either make everything or fucking tear everything apart, burn you out, and kill everything. So if whoever's in your life is not like pushing that or being part of that, fucking go. Get the fuck out of there. You know why? Because they're gonna use you until you can't. They're gonna move on to the next person, or they're just gonna use you until the next one person comes up across. That's just the nature, and that's not saying I'm not saying women or people or whatever. It's just the nature of the beast, man. You fulfill the need. If somebody just their needs are fulfilled and they didn't have to do anything for it, they don't appreciate it. And that's why now, like even for me at this time, I don't try to like, oh, is this like good example going to a restaurant? Like, is this cheaper or whatever? No, I pay for the fucking meal, sit down and eat because I understand like the level of I have to give to sit here and then fuck, train of thought. Like we spend every day as providers, bro. It's the hardest lesson to learn. It's the hardest lesson to learn. If we don't, as men, that's why like one of the biggest things for men is to control yourself, especially your urges. What's up, Queen? Welcome. Here's the thing about that is, because if you don't, bro, I joke about it. I joke about like, how you doing, Queen? Welcome. I joke about like if you see somebody you're interested in, or you ever been on a date? If you're on a date, see her, you're real interested in her, like, hey, let me go get a couple of drinks. So you go up, you go grab your drinks, but instead of going there, go to the bathroom and rub one out, and then look back and see if you're still interested in her. You might look back and go like, damn, man, I saved $82 tonight. I'd get her a soda water and we'll move the fuck on. Or I rub one out and go like, no, I don't want to fuck her now, but dude, she's good. I really enjoy this conversation. Now you got something to talk about. I apologize if that offended anyone, but not really. I'm just being real with y'all. Man, this was fun as hell. Did I drop my? All right, what's next, man? What's on the agenda today? Hey, do we have any musicians on the stream? Any guitarists? Ah, that's a nice strat. Oh no, you're good, man. I'm just trying to. I got a Frankenteller I'm working on, but now I am actually trying to get probably either another strat. Yeah, I sing it, man. Yep, I bet. Dude, I'm the same way, man. Because somebody told me I had a good singing voice. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? It's weird. Hang on. Oh, hold up. I have a Strat with locking tuners. Oh, dude. Oh yeah. Please, please, please. Just, I hope. Excuse me. Oh, all right. Hey, we're back. Yes. Okay. Hold up. Oh, I got a Stratocaster. I got these guys offering a Stratocaster with some locking tuners. That's already a plus, but I got some Fender tuners I want to put on. Yep. How about an Epiphone? Oh, there's another Strat. This one is another Strat. Oh, that's not a Strat. No, it is not. Yeah, that's not gonna work. As a Frankentelli, I already got one of those that I'm working on, so no. Oh, Fender Mustang? Boy, please don't be bullshit. I really hope these are not one of those too good to be true things. There's a mod. All right, let's see what this time. Nah. Okay, that's why. That's definitely not gonna work for me. Wait, hold up. What is this? What is that? Oh, that's not it. I don't think that one's gonna work. All right, guys. This was pretty fun. I want to thank everyone for coming through. Gran Torino, muchas gracias, amigo. Look, thank you so much. All right, I gotta go get ready, man. So, got a bunch of shit to take care of. I'll see you guys later. All right, be decent to one another. I love you. Peace.